protein, which helps with muscle repair, muscle building. Outside of protein, we have two other macronutrients, which are fat and carbohydrates. Both of these are solely used as energy sources. All right, fat is going to be used as a slow digesting energy source to power like your daily activities, walking, stuff like that. Carbohydrates are going to be used as a fast digesting energy source to power stuff like explosiveness, like being able to lift heavy, super heavy weights, stuff like that, right? Fast digesting energy versus slow digesting energy. And then we have protein to cap it as far as building muscle, repairing, stuff like that. So if you start to understand this, we're going to see why we would want the bulk of our calories coming from protein, right? We don't need a ton of energy coming in all the time, right? If we have too much energy coming in, what happens is the body never needs to pull from the energy that's stored on you in your fat, all right? So what we need to do is create a small deficit to where we're constantly pushing protein into the muscles so that the muscle never gets broken down for energy itself. And then we're gonna have just a small deficit from what your body needs to run energy-wise. We're gonna create a small deficit so your body has to pull off the fat reserves that are here. That is the principle behind macros and how we use them, all right, and the way that I set them up. In addition to that, like I told you at the beginning, the calories break down into these macros, and the way they break down, if you've ever looked at like a nutrition label, the way they break down is a gram of protein and a gram of carbs. Each one of them are 4 calories total. All right. So then you have fat, which is the third macronutrient, where it's 9 calories per gram of fat. So right there, you see that fat is so much more energy dense. It's almost 2.5 times as energy dense as a gram of protein or a gram of carbohydrates. Right. And then if we go a little further into the macro like mindset and what you see out there in social media, everybody is pushing something when it comes to macros as far as, low fat, low carb. The truth is this: as I explained, they serve a purpose, and that purpose needs to be fulfilled inside your body. You need carbohydrates to run your metabolism. Without them, you'll notice within a week that you'll be significantly colder. So your body temperature will actually start to drop. Your pulse rate will start to drop, which is not a good thing. So what you're seeing is your body is slowing down because there's not enough energy there. And then you also need fat. Can't go super high carb. Your body needs fat as a slow digesting energy source throughout the day for times where, like we're sitting on the couch at night watching a movie. We don't need a fast digesting energy source. We're not out, playing volleyball or MMA or something like that. We're sitting on a couch. So we need a slow trickle of energy coming into our bodies. So if you start to understand a little bit more about what these macros are and when they're needed, then the diet starts to fall into place on its own, and it makes complete sense as to why you would eat what you eat at certain times. If you have a question, hit me up. If you want to use my macro calculator, which I set up a certain way given what I just explained here, either comment on this reel the word macro and I'll send it to you, or DM me the word macro and I'll send you the calculator, and that'll just give you a good starting point as far as figuring out like what you should be eating based off of like the principles that I use. All right, talk to you soon.